We now have our first victory in Dominion space, and Admiral Dougal sings our praises from his flagship, the Alexander.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Captain, Vice Admiral Stukov has informed me of your flawless sortie upon Braxis. I must commend you for beginning our campaign with such a decisive victory. Our TAC teams have decrypted the Dominion's data link and have gained access to Meng's most guarded files. However, our work is not yet complete.
With Braxis under our control and our teams deciphering the Dominion's security data link, we begin to uncover secrets of Minsk's empire. One of the first keys to our victory is the discovery of the planet Dylar 4. Thousands of years ago, this desolate desert planet was once a mining colony for the protoss, but once it was stripped of its resources, the planet was abandoned. It wasn't until the arrival of the Terran Confederacy that it saw use again. The planet became a secret staging area for the Confederate fleet, as well as the home base for the Omega Squadron, and subsequently came under use of the Dominion after its rise to power. While the Omega Squadron is no more, the planet is still utilized as a refueling station for the vast number of battlecruisers under Minsk's employ. Admiral Dougal wishes to take advantage of the dormant battleships and give them a UED makeover.
We have ascertained the location of the Dylarian shipyards. These shipyards, serving as a fueling and repair station for the Dominion, house a number of functional battle cruisers in dry dock. To assure that our domination of this sector remains uncontested, you are to assault the shipyards and liberate as many of these capital ships as possible.
Lieutenant Duran cuts in for a moment to reaffirm the need of utmost haste. Once the Dominion is made keen to our presence at the Dylarian shipyards, they will have a strike force scrambled and dispatched to Dylar 4 within the day. And this strike force will most likely be a formidable fleet of Minsk's loyal soldiers.
Gentlemen, I recommend that you launch this attack using the utmost caution. Dominion Command can typically reinforce its outlying bases within 16 standard hours. You should expect some sort of reprisal from Emperor Mengsk shortly.
Dougal, unimpressed at Duran's casual address of his superiors as gentlemen, immediately makes his opinion of Duran clear, simply calling him turncoat and reminding him that in proper military decorum, he will refer to us by rank.
The turncoat. I suggest that you pay keen attention to rank when you address the captain and myself, Lieutenant Duran. Is that understood?
Of course, Admiral.
Duran apologizes for his misconduct and leaves the meeting, which prompts Stukov to stick up for our first ally in Dominion space.
You're beginning to show your age, Gerard. Give the boy some credit. He just tipped us off to a preeminent attack.
Dougal accepts that the young lieutenant might have tipped us off to Minsk's imminent retaliation, and he essentially gave us the keys to Braxis. But Duran willingly dissolved his resistance forces and joined up with us. His wanton betrayal of his own beliefs to saddle onto our mission just for the sake of destroying Minsk does not sit well with Dougal.
However useful he may prove to be, Alexei, he will always be a traitor in my eyes. And you know that I cannot abide a traitor.
Stukov acknowledges the good admiral's beliefs and orders us to prepare ourselves for the mission.
Only too well, Gerard. Captain, when you are ready, you may commence with the operation. Once you have commandeered the enemy's battle cruisers, be prepared to repel the Dominion reinforcements when they arrive. Once your forces have landed, Captain, you'll need to escort our pilots to the battle cruisers themselves. They will be able to commandeer the ships and turn them over to our control.
Stukov reminds us that time is of the essence. Our pilots will need to be personally escorted to each battlecruiser, for there is a guarantee that there will be guards stationed all over the different orbital platforms.
All right, troops, listen up. Each squad will have a medic assigned to it to patch up the wounded, but that doesn't mean you can get careless. Stay frosty and get the job done.
we are graced with our first new unit in the Terran military for Brood War, the Medic.
Need medical attention? Where does it hurt? State the nature of your medical emergency. I've already checked you out, Commander. You want another physical? Turn your head and cough. Ready for your sponge bath? His EKG is flatlining. Give me a defib stat. Clear. He's dead, Jim.
While medics are a necessity when it comes to any form of war and combat, the medics used during the guild wars and small skirmishes afterwards were mostly kept in the rear of their armies, mostly to care for the wounded. It wasn't until the arrival of the UED Expeditionary Force and their vastly superior medical science technology that we see the medics wearing their light CMC-class armor. These invaluable units serve as incredible buffers to our infantry units, namely Marines. With the low energy cost and fast healing of the medics, a Marine can constantly spam their stim packs without worry. They also have two other amazing abilities which we will get into later. With the medics in tow, we are able to completely raze enemy bunkers to the ground without losing a single unit, them all maintaining full health pretty much the entire time. And while I was recording this mission, it wasn't until I had already acquired 2 battlecruisers that I realized we never got to control the civilian in Starcraft 1. While they are renamed pilots for this mission, they are civilian units all the same and will get the same treatment as all the other units.
Hey there. Howdy. How y'all doing? What's up? I want to be all I can be. I tell you what, I think I'll join up. I'm a little claustrophobic though. Hope they don't put me in any tight spaces. What the hell, I need that college money.
These rarely used and incredible non-combatants are unrecruitable in any normal mission and rock an incredibly robust HP pool of 40, and they have the same armor stat of Marines, making them incredibly susceptible to any form of enemy fire, and will die very easily if left unprotected. With our first section of battlecruisers acquired, we dispatch another squad on the next orbital platform. On this one, we will need to utilize a little more strategy. The medics have a wonderful move called Optical Flare.
On my way. Right away. Sir, permission to blind that tank with an optical flare.
Any victim of this move has their observer status stripped away if they have it, and it limits all vision of the unit to a range of 1. It does not matter if the enemy siege tank has the high ground if we blind them.
Battle cruiser
someone page me?
operational.
Stat.
I'm here.
With the use of this incredible ability and the long-range vision and stealth granted by the ghosts we were issued, we secure the second platform without killing or losing a single unit.
Battle cruiser
Sir, the nuke
operational.
silos are secured. We've got 4 nukes on standby, awaiting your orders.
The next orbital platform has incredibly tight security at key checkpoints and also near some of the battlecruisers. To combat this, we prepared several tactical nukes that are to be dropped on these unaware Dominion fools.
I hear that.
Nuclear launch detected.
Never know what hit 'em.
We drop our first nuke and leave nothing behind, save for the few infantry units that were protected by their bunkers. There's a choke point near our initial drop zone that has a science vessel watching over the high ground. Utilizing the ever-useful optical flare, we render their vision useless and drop another nuke right on top of them, opening the way to claim 2 more battlecruisers.
Nuclear launch detected.
I hear that. I'm gone.
Nuclear launch
Systems
detected.
functional. Channel open.
With our third nuke dropped, The remaining cleanup is no issue, as our medics ensure our units stay topped off on their health and we end up claiming our 12th battlecruiser.
Battlecruiser operational.
Heads up, we got company.
We deploy on the final platform, and are immediately attacked and simultaneously given a chance to use the medic's last ability, Restoration. Restoration will remove Parasite, Ensnare, Plague, Devourer's Corrosive Acid, and it does not matter how many stacks the unit has on it, one cast of Restoration will remove them all. It also takes care of Maelstrom, Lockdown, Optical Flare, and Irradiate. A single cast of Restoration will remove any combination of any of the negative buffs that I just mentioned. And with the relatively cheap cost of 50 energy, our medic is able to repeatedly cleanse our tanks from their lockdown so they can destroy the enemy ghosts.
Right away.
We gotta take this lockdown, Pronto! Medic, restore us!
This last platform will require a bit more strategy to take over. The enemy has tanks in advantageous areas while science vessels roam around giving vision.
Never know what hit 'em. I'm gone. I hear that. Jacked up and good to go.
We lock down one such vessel in an attempt to destroy it, but the enemy has a tank within range. However, since the vessel is locked down, we take this chance to blind it with our medic.
Finally. I hear that. I'm here.
While we work on destroying the tank that's protecting it, sadly one of our ghosts walks into the one vision range of the science vessel and is killed by an enemy tank even further away.
I'm here. Finally. I hear that. Never know what hit 'em.
Need medical attention?
Finally. I'm here.
We scout ahead with a cloaked ghost and see another science vessel doing a patrol.
What hit 'em? I'm gone.
Did someone page me? On my way. Stat! I'm on.
We lock it down in the hopes of blinding it, but our medic is fired upon by a bunker on the high ground. Using one medic as bait and another for support, we maintain vision on the bunker long enough for our siege tanks to blast it apart, and we blind the science vessel.
I'm on the job.
Finally.
As we push our tanks up the line to escort our pilots, they are fired on by an enemy tank on opposing high ground, and we lose one of our precious ranged monsters. Since the science vessel was blinded, we sneak up nice and close to lock down this tank before blasting it apart with our own, before turning it loose on the enemy bunker.
Never know what hit 'em. I hear that.
There is another bunker tank combo, just right outside of vision, but this combo falls much the same way. With no detection of our ghost, we lock down the tank and pick them apart with range, with the only damage sustained being from our own tank's splash damage.
Finally. I'm all over it. Finally.
Silly me, I was careless. With one enemy tank remaining, and just enough energy for one more lockdown, we secure the last two battlecruisers, bringing us to a total of 18 commandeered ships.
Battlecruiser
Captain,
operational.
we are tracking a large fleet of Dominion ships in your vicinity.
This must be the reinforcements that Lieutenant Terran warned us about. Captain, prepare our newly acquired fleet to battle the intruders.
As we consolidate our spoils of this victory and get the battlecruisers ready for combat, our adjutant warns us of the Dominion fleet bearing down on us. A fleet headed by the flagship NORAD 3, and their leader being a face we are all too familiar with.
Captain, we are being hailed by the Dominion flagship NORAD 3.
Well now, I don't know which militia y'all are from, but I advise you to back down, now. I'm General Edmund Duke of the Dominion Armada, And in the name of Emperor Mengsk, I order you to surrender your forces immediately and unconditionally.
Believing us to be some ragtag group of rebels, possibly in league with Raynor, Duke orders our unconditional surrender. Stukov replies in kind by telling him to shove it and that we are no mere resistance.
Ah, General Duke. I expected your forces to arrive sooner. You should know that we represent not one of your ragtag peasant militias, but the combined might of the United Earth Directorate.
Earth Directorate? You mean to tell me you've come all the way out here from Earth?
That is correct, General. We're here to take control over this sector and its occupants for the betterment of mankind.
Over my dead body. I don't care where you're from, son. No one pushes around the Terran Dominion on my watch. All units, fire at will.
Receiving transmission. Good day, Commander. All crews report.
Your forces are under attack.
Make it slow. Hailing frequencies open. All crews report.
Your forces are under attack.
Hailing frequencies open. Engage.
With Duke's fleet repelled, and only losing a small fraction of our captured battlecruisers, we can chalk this up as another huge win for the UED.